Week 10 of the NFL season is officially upon us, meaning we're halfway done in the regular season already. The Packers and the Saints are coming off wins, looking to turn the season around. So me and Jenks are in good mood, and we got Week 10 picks coming up for you. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast, bringing you the latest NFL news and insights from the perspectives of two die-hard fans. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some football talk with Jenks and the Hammer.
Here we go!
All right, getting right into our Week 10 picks. So Hammer and I both had great weeks this week in picks. We both went 11-3. I think we flipped a couple of the games there. I think there were it was one game we both got wrong, and we kind of flipped the people we picked, so it worked out perfectly. But 11-3 is a solid record nonetheless. So Hammer is at the record of 86-50, and I'm at 82-52. So still 4 games back. So I gotta make a few picks that are going to be kind of crazy this week, I think, to try and turn it around and catch up on Hammer. So getting right into the first game of the week, we got I would say tankathon, but the Panthers already traded away that number 1 pick for the next year. So they're screwed all in all. They really are. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. So they're going to try to win the game. They've been trying to win every game, but you see Bryce Young has 2 picks. He had 2 pick sixes last week, and just the offense is not looking good. The other side, you look at it, the Bears and Bajan, they're looking all right. I mean, they're not looking great. I'm not going to say that. They're not looking good, but they're looking all right. Like they don't look absolutely awful. Last week against the Saints, Bajan was running a good amount on the Saints defense, who is a top 5 defense, maybe top 10 at least. You could say either. And their passing defense is good, and he was throwing the ball pretty well against them until he had a couple picks, and then I think there was 2 strips, 2 fumbles or something. It was just a rough game for the Bears offense, but their defense held the Saints to a respectable amount of points. So not awful. I think they beat the Panthers here in this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Bears. I'm gonna go with the Bears too. And like you said, Carolina in tank mode, but they traded away that first round pick this year, and they traded them to this team, the Chicago Bears. So it's a win-win for the Bears. They got to go get this one.
Yeah, and then next game we got a German game again, game in Frankfurt, Germany, and last week the Chiefs and Dolphins unexpectedly, there was 13 punts in that game. And this is going to be another game. There's a lot of punts. So that scoreboard that's hanging pretty low onto the field is going to get hit by a couple punts this week, I think. And going to be a lame game here, but I got the Colts winning versus the Patriots.
I got the Colts too.
Yeah, and Colts, Patriots, they're 2 teams that they're trying to find something, but they're nothing's going right for them. Then the third game of the week, this is where I think things get a little bit interesting. This is a game where both teams, it's a battle of defenses. Both defenses are extremely, extremely strong. So let me read off a few stats for you. So the Browns are first in 3-and-out percentage, yards, passing yards, red zone attempts, first downs, and they're second in points. And then you look at the Ravens side of the ball, they're first in sacks, first in points, passing touchdowns total, red zone touchdowns, and then second in rushing touchdowns. So both sides are it's kind of a defensive battle here. Deshaun Watson is going to be put to the test. He hasn't had a great team he's played against in his starts. He's played the Cardinals, Titans, Steelers, and Bengals, 4 teams that they're all right. They're nothing great. And then you look at Lamar, who has had 14 total touchdowns and only 3 picks, who, when he needs to, when he's called upon, he balls out. But right now, it's the rushing attack for the Ravens that really is the most impressive part. Lamar Jackson had 0 touchdowns last week. And guess what the final score of that game was? 37-3. So against the team that people are saying is a contender. So I think that's an interesting game last week. And then the Ravens come into this one against a good defense, looking to do the same. So it's a little bit tough for me, but I'm gonna go Ravens here. Although the Browns are trying to do that kind of revenge game, they lost the Ravens last time they played, but I think the Ravens win overall here.
Yeah, I think when you look at the landscape of the NFL right now, the Ravens are probably the second best team in the league behind Philadelphia. So they're playing really good football on all 3 phases. You know what I mean? They got Justin Tucker too, kicking extra points and field goals for them. It's a big factor too. This is going to be an ugly game. This is going to be a field position game. 2 top defenses. If you got to kick a long field goal, you got Jay Tuck. Yeah, I'm going to go Baltimore. They're at home too. And like I said, I think they're playing some of the best football in the league right now.
Yeah, I like what you brought up with the contenders. Of all the contenders right now, if I had to pick a team, I think the Ravens look the most complete all around on both sides of
Yeah.
the ball. So,
The
uh,
Ravens right now are the best team in the AFC.
yeah, 100%. Because the Chiefs, they're good. They're looking solid. The Bengals are looking
But
solid,
here's
but
the
neither of
thing.
them have
Yeah.
clicked on both sides of the ball
But
every
here's the
game.
thing, and we've kind of known this about Baltimore with Lamar Jackson in the past, is they're good now, but when it's,
Gets to the
week
playoffs, yeah.
18 of the season and Lamar's a little banged up from running and taking those hits, it adds up and, he doesn't play too well.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how the Ravens play down the stretch. Big game for them playoff wise this week. Next game, you got the Texans taking on the Bengals. You got CJ Stroud against Joe Burrow. A good quarterback matchup here. CJ Stroud, for those who didn't watch that game, didn't get to see it. He had 5 touchdowns, no picks, and
Unbelievable.
I believe
Unbelievable.
like 400 something yards. So he broke rookie records for most touchdowns in a game. 5, I believe, is a rookie record. And it was just an impressive performance. He had a game-winning drive where he threw the ball. Who was that touchdown to? I don't remember who the touchdown was, but I'm a Saints fan, so I was watching it as purely just beat the Bucs. That's all I cared about, and he did that. So thank you, CJ Stroud. Other side of the ball, the Bengals. They're on a 4-game win streak, and I think they keep it going. I'm going to go Bengals here at home, beating the Houston Texans.
Yeah, those exact CJ Stroud numbers: 470 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks, rating 147.8, completing 71.4 of his passes. Pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, as a
As a
rookie, come on.
for a
And
rookie.
the poor
No
Panthers are
one's
just
doing that. What do you mean
getting
impressive as a rookie? No one's doing that right now. I mean, like,
dude. And you look at the poor Panthers fans over there. They had the 4 o'clock game, so they got to sit and watch this, and they're just sitting there like,
yeah,
man, we missed out. And I know you called it. You were saying you were big on CJ Stroud, so
yeah. I like
looking good
CJ
for you.
Stroud better than Bryce Young. Yeah, but like those numbers. A lot of guys don't put those numbers together in 2 games. So impressive to come from a 22, 23-year-old. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bengals as well, though. You know what I mean? They're getting hot. We all knew coming into the season, the Bengals are a contender. They were my pick to go to the Super Bowl and lose to the Eagles. They're my pick to come out of the AFC and start out rough, but they're starting to pick it up. And they're going against a young team against Houston at home. I'm going to go Cincinnati.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I agree with you here. So next game, we got another good game. So 3 straight pretty decent games here at the 1 o'clock slate. You got the
Yeah.
49ers taking on Jacksonville and Duval. And this is a tough game for me because you look at it, the Jacksonville Jaguars are on I believe, a 5-game win streak now, and they beat the Bills in that span. They had a good few games, but then you look at the other side of the ball, and the 49ers are on a cold front. They really are. That Brock Purdy, let me read the stats here. Brock Purdy has thrown, I want to say, 5 picks in 3 games. And then that's also without Debo, though. Debo will be back for this game, coming off a bye week. So they're going to be recharged a little bit, ready to go, game planned, and everything like that. But the biggest takeaway for me in this game is the Jaguars, in my opinion, are frauds. I don't believe in the Jaguars. I'm going to say this wholeheartedly as a Saints fan who got to witness a Saints-Jaguars game where the Jaguars looked good. Second half, their defense kind of fell apart. Derek Carr was going off. And I don't 100% believe in this team. I know I'm going to take heat for that, where if we're for saying that the Jaguars are frauds, in my opinion. I don't think they stand a chance against the Bengals, the Ravens, the Chiefs. I just don't think they do. And even the Bills towards the end of the season, I think their Bills are gonna get it together. I just don't think the Jaguars stand a chance in these games because Trevor Lawrence, you look at it, hasn't looked insane. He has 9 touchdowns, 4 picks throughout the season, and that's not crazy numbers. And they've only beat the Colts twice, the Falcons and the Bills were the one good team they beat, and then the Saints. And I'm not putting a lot of faith in that. I'm gonna go the 49ers here in an away game, taking on the Jaguars.
Yeah, I think when you look at the Week 10 schedule too, I think that you can consider this the game of the week between
Mhm.
San Fran and Jacksonville. 2 top teams right now in their divisions. You know what I mean? San Fran, we know, is a top team in the league, and Jaguars are on the rise. Another game that could be considered is Cleveland and Baltimore. But I think this is the game right here. And yeah, I like San Fran too. San Fran's coming off a tough stretch. They lost 3 straight, but they just had to bye, get a little healthy. You're gonna get Debo back. You know what I mean? Bye could be good or bad. So we'll see what happens. Trent Williams is gonna be, I think he's gonna be out again
He's
though.
questionable, yeah, most
He's
likely out.
he's
Yeah.
pretty. I don't know what's up with that ankle injury. I don't. It could be more serious than people think. So that's definitely a big loss. But you know what? San Fran's a really really good team. Bunch of talent. The coaching is, you know, amazing.
Yeah, Shanahan.
And they get Pro Bowlers at every level, on the field. You know what I mean? Offense and defense. So I got to go with Sanford anyway. I think they snap the lose streak and they get back on track.
I like it. I think we picked the same teams every game so far, but
Yeah.
next game we got the Saints taking on the Pastronaut and the Vikings. For those who didn't know, Josh Dobbs is also a space astronaut. Like this guy is just he's all over the place. He's an astronomer or something like that. NASA posted that he's the Pastronaut, and it's caught on. I think this is an interesting game for the Saints. I think this is the most important game of the season so far. You come in 2-game win streak. You want to see if you can keep it going against a team who Josh Dobbs just beat the Falcons with on a game-winning drive with no experience with the team. They have good weapons. Even without Justin Jefferson, they're still solid. They have weapons all around. And the Saints, right now, their defense looks all right, but that first half defense isn't great, and then they bounce back in the second half where the offense kind of is still trying to find its consistency. But I have a hot take here that I really think Hammer's mind's going to be blown. The unspoken hero of the Saints so far is Taysom Hill. And I'm going to say here, straight up, Taysom Hill's a top 30 player in the NFL, 100%. Top 30 across the board.
Yeah, I don't know about that, dude.
Taysom Hill is irreplaceable. Irreplaceable. There's no other guy in the league like him. He can throw, he can catch, and he can run at a level unlike any other. So right now, this season alone, he has, let me find it. He has, I believe, 3 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, and a passing touchdown. And in the red zone, he's unstoppable because you don't know if he's going to rush, pass, or receive a ball. So this guy, I'm excited for the rest of the season. I think the Saints are going to force feed him the ball with Colin Saunders at fullback in front of him in the red zone. I think he scores maybe 4 more rushing touchdowns at least by the end of the year. So I'm excited for him. If anyone doesn't have him in fantasy, I advise you going to pick him up, trading for him, picking him up in the waiver wire, whatever you got to do. Taysom Hill's a top 10 tight end the rest of the year.
Yeah, all of that, and you guys are 5-4. So nice.
2-game win streak.
That was a really bad take. No, he's a dynamic player, but no, he's not a top 30 player in this league.
100%.
He's not.
I don't think you put him anywhere, he's going to do the same. I don't understand who else do you put that can do that same thing? No one. There's no one else in the league that's doing that. There's not.
It's not a top 30 player though.
He's the second player in NFL history to ever have 10 passing, rushing, and receiving touchdowns. Second ever. So I don't want to say I'm not. There is bias here, but you sit back and look at it. No one else is doing what he's doing, and I don't think you can find someone else that would be able to do that role for the Saints. So
we'll see if he wins MVP. I'm gonna go with the Saints here. They got. Hopefully I'm rooting for them. Got to beat Minnesota. Minnesota. I don't really know. I think this is gonna be a good matchup. Minnesota has been good against the Saints in recent years, as we know. But this is a new team. This is a young team. At home, tough place to play. But I'm gonna go with the Saints because I need the Saints to win.
Gotta agree. My Saints are winning this week. So Hammer, I'll let you do the next game since you are the Packers fan of the podcast. Break it down for us.
Yikes. Yep. All right. So Green Bay travels to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. I think this is gonna be a really ugly game. Both offenses have struggled. Both defenses have been playing good. Believe it or not, the Packers defense, I saw on 2 websites this morning. One of them had them ranked 8th in the league. Another one had them ranked 10th. So Green Bay's defense right now is a top 10 defense somehow. I don't know how, but based on scoring, passing yards, all that combined, and total defense, they're a top 10. So, 2 defenses playing well and 2 offenses are playing bad. I think this is going to be a really low-scoring game, like a 17-13, something like that, 16-12, I don't know, something like that. I think it's going to be an ugly game. Oh, man. I'm going to go with the Steelers. I did this
pick the Packers, dude.
No,
Believe
I'm
in you.
going to go with the Steelers because I
it.
picked the Rams last week to beat the Packers, and the Packers won. So I'm going to do a little reverse psychology. And I'm going to go with the Steelers because you know what? I think right now they are the better team. They've been more consistent. Believe it or not, the Steelers have the same record as the 49ers. They're 5-3. So they're playing more consistent. I think they got the better team all around right now, the way they're playing. better head
Yeah.
coach, home field. I'm gonna go with the Steelers to win this, but hopefully Green Bay can pull it out.
Yeah, you stole my thunder. I'm gonna go Steelers too. I'm not gonna add more to it. I think Steelers defense just is gonna overpower the Packers. Next game, you got the Titans and Will Levis taking on Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, and this is an interesting game between 2, 3, and 5 teams where they've had sparks on both sides and they've looked all right in different games. The Buccaneers have looked like against the Saints, they looked outstanding, and then the Titans, they looked great against who'd they play? I think it was it the Steelers a couple weeks ago where Will Levis had his great. No, it was the Falcons. I think it was the
Falcons.
Falcons where Will Levis just came out guns blazing and balled out. I'm gonna go Titans here, taking on the Bucs. The Bucs have lost 3 straight ever since they said they own the division. So Bucs, you suck. Titans win.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucks here. So the first matchup that me and Jenks
Thank God.
switch on.
Thank
I'm gonna
God.
go with Tampa here. Um, Not much to say. I think Will Levis had that one game against the Falcons. Whoa, like who's this dude? And I think he's starting to settle in to where he belongs. Defense got kind of like figuring him out. He had a good day against the Steelers. It wasn't good enough. I think he's struggles a little bit against Tampa.
We'll see. Hopefully he pulls it out. And then next game, you got the Big Birds taking on the Tweety Birds with the Falcons versus the Cardinals. And I don't want to pick either team here. I don't love this game. I think the Falcons, until otherwise prove me wrong, I think they suck. They don't know how to use their weapons. And then the Cardinals, an
Well, let's
interesting team, but they still only have one.
let's give the audience a little like behind the scenes why me and Jenks don't like the Falcons.
Yeah, you
So
got it.
go. You want me to go for it?
Yeah, you go.
So me and Jenks, as you guys know, we run a fantasy team together, and we have Bijan Robinson, the running back. That running back for the Falcons. So they drafted what 5th overall,
I think it was
7th,
seventh
something
or
like
eighth.
that, 8th. Yeah. We have that guy. We drafted that guy. I think the past 3 weeks, I think he's combined for maybe 12 points, something like that.
It's just bad.
It's
all
been
around.
bad. They just don't give him the football. I saw a comment by Arthur Smith, the head coach of the Falcons, saying, "Yeah, we use him kind of like a decoy and distraction. By doing that, it opens up, stuff for other players and things like that." But I don't know how, I don't know how much longer that's gonna be working because teams know you're not giving the ball to him, and
Yeah.
I just don't understand what's going on over there. I really don't.
He's the thing to me is he's your number 8 pick. You didn't need to take a running back. You didn't need to. You had other needs on the team, and you went and picked a running back. So use them. Like if you're gonna do that, use the guy you pick. So it pissed me off. Honestly, it really did. And as a Saints fan, I can't stand the Falcons already. I'm gonna go Cardinals here, beating the Falcons. Kyler Murray debut of the season at home in Arizona. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going Falcons. Arizona's terrible,
Kyler,
and
man. Kyler, I believe.
yeah, they're terrible, and the Falcons are just a weird team.
They are.
Interesting though. I mean, 4-5. I don't know. They show flashes, and then other weeks it's really bad. So I'm gonna go with the Falcons though.
I don't mind it. Don't mind the pick, but hey, Falclowns are still always going to be the Falclowns. Then we got next game. We got the Lions taking on the Chargers, and the Lions are looking to have yet another good game, whereas the Chargers are looking to carry or keep it snowball and keep it going. Last week they looked pretty damn good against the Jets on offense, and
It's not tough to do. It's not tough
the
to
Jets
do.
have a good defense. I mean, their offense looks bad. So obviously the Chargers defense looked all right, but
It's the Jets though.
Jets defense is still solid defense. But you have Austin Eckler, who's kind of been
Overrated. I think
Yeah,
the
you are-
Jets.
you're
I think
New
the
Jersey
Jets
guy,
defense
so.
is overrated. That's just me.
To each their own. I think there's still a solid defense all around, and the Chargers have been underperforming. But last week they finally showed up. Austin Eckler 2 touchdowns, and looks like he's going to be a fantasy weapon the rest of the year. So this is an underrated game for this week. I think it's going to be a pretty damn explosive game on both sides. I think both offenses are going to have good games. And I think the Lions eke out a win last second versus the Chargers with Staley making some boneheaded decision.
Yeah, I think the Lions are the better team right now. They're playing better football, more consistent. Chargers are, they're also a talented team. Like you said, the coaching has just been bad over there, and that's what's been holding them back these past couple of years. I think this is a good game though. I think it's kind of high scoring, but I think Detroit's gonna seal it, like you said, at the end.
Yeah, I agree. And then next game, yuck. I'm not going into detail for this. Cowboys are blowing out the Giants, just letting everyone know. DeVito's going to do terribly through 2 picks, I think, against the Raiders last week. And the Raiders defense is nothing compared to the Cowboys defense. So it's just going to be rough. Cowboys win.
Cowboys.
Yeah, not much to say there. Then we got the Commies taking on the Seagulls in another afternoon matchup here. And Seahawks looking to bounce back from whatever the hell that performance was against the Ravens, 37-3 loss. And the Commanders came off a win against the Patriots, who are not a great team, but this is an interesting matchup for me. I think the Seahawks are frauds, and I've been saying that for, I don't know, the last few weeks now. I've been talking with Hammer, I think, every week, and I've been saying the Seahawks are overrated. People are hyping them up as contenders. They're not contenders, they're pretenders. So these guys are frauds. They have not beat anyone impressive. And I think the Commanders win here. My underdog pick of the week is the Commanders.
I'm gonna go with Seattle. I think they bounce back. Last week, tough game, but you know what? Everyone has those games. Once in a while, it happens. Baltimore's playing really good football right now. I mean, they did the same thing to Detroit, and we're talking about Detroit as a contender for the NFC. So I'm gonna go with Seattle. I think they bounce back. I think they got a good team. They brought in some guys, to help that defensive line. And what else? I have Geno Smith fantasy. Go Seahawks.
I feel bad for you if you have Geno on your fantasy team
Yeah, I
because
know.
man,
Two QB league is my second. So
here, let me read off the rankings for you guys. So Seahawks offense, 29th in attempts in passing, 25th in passing completions. Then you got 25th in rushing yards, 29th in rushing attempts, 25th in first downs, 30th in third down percentage, 25th in fourth down percentage. They're not looking good. They're 7th in sacks allowed, so they should be passing well. They should. Geno's not playing well. He has weapons for him. I don't think they're a great team. I like the Commanders here, but I respect the confidence in the Seahawks. Then next game, we got the Jets taking on the Raiders, and I can't believe we have to watch another Jets primetime game. It's rough.
unbelievable. They should have flexed this. I mean, like,
They needed to.
how do you not flex this? Like, I mean, I would flex it and make it Baltimore and Cleveland or San Fran and Jacksonville,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
Even
they should've.
Cincinnati, Houston. Like, this stinks.
Yeah, it's just like you see this coming from like 2 weeks away. They should have
Stinks.
flexed this. It should have been flexed 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, because the Jets don't deserve it. They've seen Zach Wilson come out and suck.
They just
every week.
want to show Aaron Rodgers on his torn Achilles throwing passes to Devontae pregame. That's what they want. That's what they want.
But man, I can't even. It's just I'm not going to say anything more. I think the Raiders defense eats Zach Wilson's lunch, take his lunch money, and then get a few sacks. So Josh Jacobs has a good game. Antonio Pierce has them smoking cigars in the locker room afterwards. Raiders, you're back up. Good job. Nothing else to say. Raiders win.
I'm going with the Jets.
Wow. Bold
What?
prediction for Henry. Underdog pick of the week?
Yeah,
feel
this is
they're
my
underdogs.
upset of the week. Yeah, all right, upset of the week. I'm going with the Jets. Why am I taking the Jets? I think the Raiders are a mess. I know they just beat the Giants, but the Giants are a bigger mess than them. They killed the Giants, but they're a bigger mess than
Yeah.
them. The Raiders are kind of a mess right now. Devontae's frustrated. And I think the Jets are just gonna I don't know. I think they're going to be a week-to-week team. I think they're going to kind of hang in there until Rodgers comes back. I'm assuming Rodgers maybe comes back for I don't know, maybe the last 3-4
Last few weeks,
games.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then giving them a chance to go make the playoffs, get a wild card. I think the Jets just keep it close until I think they find a way to win games and just try to keep them in the playoff picture until Rodgers comes back. So, and I just feel like this is one of those games that they have to win to do that. You know what I mean? And I think it's, the NFL scripted, and I feel like that's going to be set up, that's the story set up. Rodgers going to make a return, and it's all right, we're going to see if we can win out and get into the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I think this is one of the games they win, and I'm going to go with the Jets.
I respect it. I like the confidence in the NFL's rig, too. I like you throwing that in there. Next game.
Yeah, Jordan Love's not doing good. It's got to be rigged.
It's got to be. If the Packers aren't doing well after 30 years, it's screw the NFL, man. Anyway, next game, we got the Broncos coming off a bye week and a win versus the Chiefs, taking on the the cold streak Buffalo Bills, who have not been doing too hot. I mean, they're underperforming is an understatement. I think they're 5-4 now as a team, which is the same record as the Saints and a few other teams that don't look very great, and the Vikings included. I think the Bills bounce back here at home, beat the scrappy Broncos, and maybe a close game. Kind of not defensive, maybe in the 20s. I think it's going to be like a 1-score game.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah. I think Buffalo beats them by a good 14-17. So I got Buffalo.
I don't mind it. If Buffalo does, I wouldn't mind it at all because my mom would be happy and she wouldn't be yelling at me every 2 seconds because the Bills suck right now. So I wouldn't mind it.
Some really exciting teams on bye: Kansas City, the Rams, Dolphins, and Eagles. So 3 of those teams, Kansas City, Dolphins, Eagles.
Contenders. Yeah.
That hurts fantasy owners. In one league, I have Tua, Waddle, and Kelsey out. Another league, I have AJ Brown out. So it's gonna be a tough week. Tough week for some fantasy owners like me.
All right, guys, getting right into our fantasy recap for the week. Yet again, another great week fantasy because someone's getting hot over here. So bounce back is still going. Do a win recap really quick. Gloves didn't fit yet again. Another win for him. Who knew? Who expected anything less? He's 8-1 now with a stacked team. Hammer on a 4-game win streak. So both of us on some decent win streaks here.
Wait, not just a second. 4. Add that. Now. Not just a 4-game win streak, but second at 7-2.
7-2, that's solid. Then we got Nicholas Lewis, 6-3 on another win. He just got a win, bouncing back from that loss week prior. And then we got Paul Burnson, the Kirkrade Cardinals, 2-win streak. He's at 5-4. And then you got a few people are just in this middle of the pack kind of game with 4-5, 5-4, a couple of losing records or losing streaks. And you got me coming in at 4-5 on a 3-game win streak. So start off 1-5, looking very little hope coming into the last few weeks, but we persist and we keep going. We keep pushing. I had my little motivational speech last week for the team, and I think we win again this week. I'm playing Wilson, who's 2-7, but he is the last winner from last week. Wilson, who, I mean, you look at it, he's averaging a good amount in points for the last few weeks, so I'm a little bit worried for that. But all in all, I think I can keep it going and possibly squeak my way into the playoffs in the next few weeks.
We'll see what happens. Final stretch coming up. So it's going to be interesting. All right. Well, Jenks, final thoughts before week 10.
Final thoughts. I mean, hey, I'll let you do the PSA, but we're turning things.
Not doing the PSA. They don't deserve it.
Fine. I'm going to say it. People who don't make the trade, they offer you a trade and you say, all right, and they don't accept it when we offer it. I mean, come on. What is that? What's up with that? Anyways.
No, wait. That's confusing. Hold on. It's just simple. If we send you a trade and you text us, yes, I like that trade. I'm going to make that trade. Okay. Just go into the app and accept the trade.
It's not that hard.
They got to understand the trade doesn't get accepted through text. You have to go through the app and accept the trade.
Yeah, it's killing us.
These people say they accept the trade and they don't accept it. And it's just day after day. And it's because you have to make the trade before, for this dumb league we're in, we're not the commissioner, so it's stupid. But it takes 2 days for the trade to go through. So we got to get this thing going before Sunday. You know what I mean? So the clock is ticking, and these guys are killing us. Hopefully they don't watch this part and make it to the end of the video, because then they might get frustrated and not make the trade. But
nah, they're not going to. Anyways,
good.
That's it. But we're making draft day type moves. Our team's turning around. Hammer, I'll let you close it out.
We are. All right. Well, hopefully the Packers can win. Make this thing a little interesting. Get to 4-5. Never know. Last 5 games are really easy. Maybe we'll do a segment in the future about the Packers making the playoffs. Jordan Love.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
But with that being said, make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Jenks Hammer Pod. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at Jenks Hammer Podcasts. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate it. And have a good weekend. Enjoy some football.
Thank you for tuning in to the Jenks and the Hammer podcast. Remember to leave a review and follow all of our social media pages at Jenks Hammer Pod for more content. Until next time, who dat and go Pack Go!